Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Last time, we got through the basics of the Indian Union and citizenship. Today, though, we are diving into what is truly the heart and soul of the Constitution. Part 3, your fundamental rights. Seriously, this is the part that isn't just about the country. It's about you, and the protections that you are guaranteed every single day. All right, let's get into it.
So let me ask you a question. Have you ever really stopped to think about the basic rights that protect you, like every single day? You know, the ones that let you speak your mind, choose your own path, and live without being afraid? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack right now.
Here's our game plan for today. We're going to start with what these rights even are, and then we'll walk through the 6 big categories. We're talking about your right to equality and freedom, the rights that protect you from being exploited and guarantee what you believe, rights that protect our amazing culture, and then the big one, the right that actually protects all the other rights.
So, first things first, what exactly are we talking about here? Well, fundamental rights are the absolute bedrock of our democracy. They're the core freedoms that are just essential for any person to live a life with dignity.
Now, the phrase to really focus on here is enforceable against the state. This is what gives these rights their teeth. See, they aren't just nice ideas or suggestions. They are legally binding promises from the Constitution directly to you. Articles 12 and 13 make it super clear. The government can't just pass some regular law and poof, take them away.
You might be wondering, okay, what is the state? Article 12 actually tells us. It's basically any and every level of government, from Parliament in New Delhi, all the way down to your local city council, and even companies the government controls. So your fundamental rights protect you from unfair actions by any of these groups.
Okay, let's move on to our first huge category, the right to equality. The idea behind it is so simple, but it is incredibly powerful. It doesn't matter who you are, the law has to treat you the same.
Article 14 gives us 2 sides of this equality coin. First, you have equality before law. That means nobody, and I mean nobody, gets a free pass. Not the richest CEO, not the most powerful politician. Everyone is under the same laws. Then there's equal protection of laws, which means the law has to be applied fairly. So if people are in similar situations, they have to be treated in a similar way. Makes sense, right?
And this is where that right to equality gets super practical in your day-to-day life. Article 15 gets very specific. The state can't treat you differently or block you from public places just because of your religion, race, caste, sex, or where you were born. It's basically your personal shield against discrimination.
And then we have Article 17. Wow. There is zero ambiguity here. It's a short, powerful, and absolute statement that just completely abolishes the horrible practice of untouchability. It makes it crystal clear that social dignity is a fundamental right for every single citizen. No exceptions.
Now let's talk about the rights that you probably think of most often when you hear the phrase, my rights, the right to freedom. These are the liberties that let us be who we are, to express ourselves, and to chase our dreams. Article 19 gives us a whole toolkit of essential freedoms. The freedom to say what you believe, to gather peacefully with other people, to form clubs or unions, and to live and work anywhere you want in this country. Now, of course, these aren't a total free-for-all. They can have some reasonable restrictions for things like public safety, but the default setting is always freedom.
But you know, all of these amazing freedoms are really protected by one massive overarching principle, a right that the Supreme Court itself has called the very heart of all the fundamental rights.
And here it is, Article 21. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to procedure established by law. This one simple sentence is the ultimate shield. It means the state can't just randomly take away your life or your freedom. And over the years, the courts have said that life doesn't just mean breathing, it means living a life with human dignity.
And what's really important for all of you watching is that this right to life has been expanded to include the right to education. Article 21A makes it a fundamental right for every single child between 6 and 14 to get a free and compulsory education. This right, it's literally why you are in school today.
All right, next up, we have a set of rights that protect our basic human dignity and our freedom to believe what we want. This is all about making sure no one can be exploited and that everyone is free to follow their own conscience.
Articles 23 and 24 are pretty straightforward protections against being taken advantage of. They ban human trafficking and any kind of forced labor. And crucially, they protect children by saying they can't be employed in dangerous jobs like factories or mines. This is all about safeguarding basic human dignity.
Right after that, Article 25 guarantees our freedom of religion. This means every single person in India has the freedom to believe, or even not to believe, whatever they choose. You have the right to practice your faith and to share it with others, just as long as it doesn't mess with public order, morality, or health.
I mean, India is this incredible patchwork of different cultures, and the Constitution specifically protects that. This next set of rights is designed to make sure all these different cultures, languages, and communities can really flourish.
Now notice the important difference here. It's pretty cool. Article 29 protects the culture itself, your language, your traditions, your script. Then Article 30 protects the institutions that help preserve that culture by giving minorities the right to set up and run their own schools and colleges.
And now we come to the end of our journey. But honestly, this is the big finale. This is the one right that makes every single other right we've talked about actually mean something. It's the ultimate guarantee.
Just think about it for a second. All these rights to equality, freedom, dignity, they sound fantastic on paper. But what happens if the state actually violates one of them? What can you do about it? Is it just tough luck?
Well, the answer is Article 32. Think of it like the master key that unlocks all the other rights. It is a fundamental right in itself, the right to demand that your rights be enforced. If any of them are violated, Article 32 gives you the incredible power to go directly to the Supreme Court and demand justice.
And that is why these rights, this entire Part 3 of the Constitution, are so often called its heart and soul. They are the concrete promises that turn these big ideas of liberty, equality, and justice from just words on a page into a real lived experience for every single citizen of India. So, we've seen how your rights are protected, but this leaves us with one final thing to chew on. Our rights don't exist in a bubble. We live in a society surrounded by other people who also have rights. So the big question for all of us is, where do we draw the line between our own individual freedom and our responsibility to everyone else? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for watching.